Pelicans just picked up an absolutely crucial win against the Clippers, and they are now tied in the loss column, only being a half game behind the Clippers, making the 6th seed a real possibility for this team. And in this game against the Clippers, Brandon Ingram absolutely dominated again. Brandon Ingram went 13 of 23 from the field, and this was his shot chart. Brandon Ingram scored 36 points tonight and did not attempt a three. A lot of people think that's a good thing. I don't think that's a good thing, but don't worry, I'm not gonna harp on that right now. I'm not gonna criticize him. All I'm gonna say is Brandon Ingram is 1 of 1. And it feels absolutely amazing to see that happening right now, because I've been telling people this for so many years, and even myself had doubts. Even earlier this season, you can have doubts. And if he goes 10 of 23 instead of 13 of 23, maybe we're having a different conversation. And as I always stress to you guys, I talk about the process more than the results, and I don't think the process was great tonight. But the fact that Brandon Ingram can get you 40 points without taking threes is special. That is special. Besides a center or Giannis, what player in the NBA is really doing that? The only answer is DeMar DeRozan, but DeMar DeRozan can't hit 7 threes in the game like Brandon Ingram can. The only player I could even think of that's similar is Devin Booker, but Devin Booker's not 6'8". Devin Booker doesn't have a 7'3" wingspan. Brandon Ingram is 1 of 1, and I don't mean that as in a better or a worse, but he's special. And people love making the Kevin Durant comparisons. Kevin Durant never has to work as hard as Brandon Ingram had to work in this game. Never. He's 7 foot, he shoots over everybody, and I don't mean that to diminish him or his skill level, but he doesn't have to do what Brandon Ingram has to do to get buckets. And then the passing tonight, again, 8 assists, 1 turnover. But focusing on this game real quick, big shout out to CJ McCollum. Brandon Ingram was struggling a little bit. Clippers were being extremely physical with them. I was a little bit worried that was going to get to him, but it didn't get to him. But while that was happening, CJ McCollum was getting buckets, again, in the mid-range as well, getting to the rim a little bit, got a couple and ones. Again, CJ McCollum has been very, very steady during this stretch, and that's what you want from CJ McCollum. You don't want CJ McCollum getting you 30 points a night. That's not going to be him. And if you're relying on him to be that, you're probably a bad team. And I know it's easy to criticize CJ because he's not BI, and he's not one of the young guys. He's not Herb Jones or Trey Murphy, and you don't want to rip those guys. So it's been pretty easy to put CJ down during the season, but CJ has been very, very valuable to this team, and he's been great lately. Jonas Valanciunas was absolutely terrible in the first half, like so bad in the first half, but he bounced back in the second half. He got a ton of offensive rebounds when CJ or BI missed their mid-range jumpers. JV was right there to put it back in. He actually only ended up shooting 2 free throws in this game, but he got a lot of fouls to put the Clippers in foul trouble, which ended up being a huge part of this game. The Pelicans ended up shooting 35 free throws in this game. That is a ton, but they were being very aggressive going to the rim. Clippers were taking a lot of mid-range jumpers. Obviously the Pelicans were too. But again, another thing, Brandon Ingram going to the rim a lot more during the stretch. He has to do one or the other. He has to shoot threes or get to the rim. He has to do. I know he wants to take a ton of mid-range jumpers, but he has to do one or the other. And tonight he was getting to the rim a lot. He's been getting to the rim a lot. Very weird game from Trey Murphy. Only took 8 shots. Only 5 of those were threes. He somehow ended up with 11 free throw attempts. I don't think that's going to happen again this season. That's very odd. Larry Nance was 1 for 6, probably the best 1 for 6 game you will see. There was a play late in the game where BI got doubled near half court. He throws the ball to Trey Murphy. Trey Murphy makes a great pass to Larry Nance for a layup. Larry Nance only 2 points of that game, and it probably was the bucket that sealed this game the most. Very, very good overall team effort led by Brandon Ingram. Herb Jones had 5 fouls in this game, didn't do quite the... Herb Jones ended up with 7 free throws. Yeah, if I'm a Clippers fan, I might be a little bit hot about the free throws, but as far as the Pelicans, they get a much needed win here, and they move on to play the Sacramento Kings on Tuesday. Then they got the Memphis Grizzlies, then the Knicks, then the Timberwolves. Now, there's a chance that the Grizzlies and the Knicks don't even play their guys in that game. There's a chance they might be already locked up into their playoff position. But that last game against the Timberwolves is going to be a huge game. But this game against the Kings coming up, the Kings shoot a ton of 3-pointers. The Kings put a ton of points on the board. I think Brandon Ingram's going to have to shoot some threes in that game, and the Pelicans overall are going to have to be better from 3 to win that game. But I'm extremely excited. And I dropped a video the other day saying the Clippers might be in trouble. The Clippers' next game is against the Lakers. And at this point, I'm not even sure who we want to win that game. I guess we want the I don't know. because we have the tiebreaker over the Clippers. The Lakers have the tiebreaker over the Pelicans. I'm not sure who we want to win that game because the Pelicans want the 6th seed, obviously, but if they are in the play-in, you'd much rather play the Clippers than the Lakers. So all this should be interesting. Another great game from Brandon Ingram, another great game from the Pelicans overall. Let me know what you guys thought about tonight's game and what you guys think about the standings going on right now. All that down in the comments below. I'm out. Peace.